Have you ever wondered whether there are alternatives to traditional gas, solid fuel, or Economy 7 electrical systems which can improve comfort levels in your home, are cheap to run, and minimize the impact on the environment? Well, heat pumps, especially air source heat pumps, are such an alternative and are becoming a popular way of providing affordable and sustainable heating in Britain's homes. Advantage South West, a group of 17 housing associations and councils based throughout the West Country, has formed a partnership with a major heat pump supplier, Daikin Limited, and this film explains how the new systems work and the benefits to residents. Over the last few years, energy prices have risen by almost 50%, adding billions onto household energy bills. And despite some small price cuts along the way, millions are now spending more than 10% of their income on fuel, plunging many households into fuel poverty. And it's not just a problem affecting pensioners. Fuel poverty is becoming far more widespread. While a third of pensioner households are in fuel poverty, so are 1 in 5 families with one income and 1 in 4 of single-person working households. In addition, living in cold homes can damage people's health and affect their quality of life. The elderly, children, and those with a disability or long-term illness are especially vulnerable. Worryingly, there has also been talk of possible price increases by some suppliers, so you really need to take action and find ways to bring your energy bills down. Most of the energy we use in our homes is produced using processes that release CO2 emissions into the air. CO2 emissions are the most significant cause of climate change, so saving energy at home is one of the most important things you can do to fight climate change. One of the best ways to bring your energy bills down and to reduce your CO2 emissions is to install what's called an air source heat pump. This heats your home with energy absorbed from the air around you, and it can be used to warm water for radiators and hot water in your home. A heat pump boiler works much more efficiently and saves more energy than a traditional heating system based on fossil fuels. With every 1 kilowatt of electricity consumption, the heat pump generates 3 to 5 kilowatts of free heat.
It's cut our heating bill by more than half, because we were paying like £40 a week when we had the coal fire, plus the electric, which was £50, £55 a week sometimes, especially in the winter. Well, this is running at £2.55 a day, and that's including all the electric in the house as well.
I reckon I'm saving at least £5 to £7.50 a week on my average running costs for the electric.
Coal was £28 a week just for the coal, for all the electric and the heating here. It's now gone down to about £15 a week. That's with the cooker, tumble dryer, washing machine and everything, and the heating on.
All our surroundings, even a block of ice, has heat. The purpose of a heat pump is to absorb heat in one place where it is plentiful, then to transport and release it in another location where it can be used for heating. Useful heat can be found in the air outdoors. Even on the coldest winter days, sufficient heat is present to warm our homes, and what's more, it's free. All we have to pay for is the machine to recover it and the cost of the energy to run it. This is an air source heat pump. Heat from the air is absorbed into a fluid which is pumped through a heat exchanger in the heat pump. Low-grade heat is then extracted by the refrigeration system and, after passing through the heat pump compressor, is concentrated into a higher temperature, using heat capable of heating water for the heating and radiators in your house. In addition to reducing your fuel bills and CO2 emissions, an air source heat pump will reduce condensation and mold growth, which means reduced maintenance and direct health benefits.
We had the coal fire before Parkway or something, and that was, you light it and you got hot heat all the time. You keep chucking coal in it. This is a different heat. It's a constant temperature all the time. You have to allow it time to build up, but once it's there at that level, it's just lovely. A lot easier.
We were paying £20 a week for solid fuel, and this here is, oh, yeah, there's £3 when we had that very cold weather, in 24 hours it was burning, no problem.
With the money I've saved, I've been putting it away. I've got a special piggy bank, and every month now I put that money in there, and I've got enough to pay for a holiday.
Installing a heat pump is relatively simple and straightforward, as there are no chimneys, fuel tanks or gas connections required. Its main components are an outdoor unit and an indoor hydro box. The compact outdoor unit can be placed outside houses and apartments, both existing and new, even when space is limited. The heat pump extracts available heat from the air, upgrades it, and sends it to the indoor hydro box, where the heat is transferred to warm water that is pumped to radiators and floor heating elements. The compact hydro box requires no separate technical room and contains all the system and user controls.
They made no mess at all, and they were very quick, they were clean, and they were just fantastic.
All I need to know is how this little thing works, which you program. You can set it to come on and off at different times of the day, which is what we did. And if you want extra heat, all you've got to do is just press a little button and bring it up.
We find it perfect. My wife does, she likes it, I like it, and that's it.
Air source heat pumps also deliver a more consistent heat output, which gives a greater level of comfort when heating the home. This is an alternative to high-temperature radiators that give on-off bursts of heat in a bid to maintain the desired room temperature. Homes with suitably sized radiators can enjoy a constant, controlled living environment, whilst benefiting from reduced running costs and lessening the impact on the environment.
This is a different heat. It's a constant temperature all the time. You have to allow it time to build up, but once it's there at that level, it's just lovely.
It's been brilliant. It's heated the house lovely. The radiators are warm, the hot water's always warm. Fantastic in the winter.
Well, I've been asked by a couple of people what it's like, and I can only be honest and tell them that it's the best heating I've ever had.
There are many benefits to air source heat pumps. The major advantage is the reduction in fuel bills and CO2 emissions. You don't have to bother with fuel deliveries, and the heat pump can provide both space and water heating. The installation process is simple and fast, and once it's installed, it's often classed as fit and forget. That is, that you don't have to adjust it. In addition to fitting an air source heat pump, there are a number of other ways to help you save even more money on your fuel bills. These are our money-saving tips. Turn appliances off standby. The average household wastes £30 a year simply by leaving appliances on standby. Remember that you can't switch most electronic goods off just with the remote control. To turn off an appliance completely, use the power switch on the appliance itself or turn it off at the plug. If a charger or power pack is warm or has a light on, it's probably using power. A 20-watt bulb can save £60 over its lifetime, compared to a standard 100-watt bulb. Energy-efficient appliances are easy to find and aren't necessarily more expensive. Look out for appliances that carry the energy-saving recommended label, as they're the most efficient available. Boil a kettle with only as much water as you need and cover pots and pans when cooking. They will boil a lot quicker. It's also good to match the size of the cooking ring to the size of the saucepan to avoid heating air and to cook several different foods on one ring with a steamer. Try to defrost your fridge and freezer regularly and avoid putting hot food in the freezer, and also try not to leave your fridge door open as it takes energy to cool down again. Washing clothes at 30 degrees can be just as effective for a normally soiled load, and to try to run your washing machine or dishwasher with full loads. Avoid tumble drying. Instead, why not dry clothes outdoors or on indoor dryers when possible to save money and energy. By turning your central heating down by 1 degree, you could cut your heating bills by up to 10%, and by turning down your immersion heater temperature by 1 degree, you'll save energy and you're unlikely to notice the difference. Where possible, use energy-efficient light bulbs. If every UK home installed 3 of them, it would save enough energy to power all the UK street lights. And remember to switch the lights off every time you leave a room. The cheapest way to pay your energy bills is by monthly direct debit. Many energy companies offer discounts to customers who agree to pay this way. Speak to your energy company to see if they provide such discounts. Another way to cut down on your costs is with paperless billing. Again, many suppliers offer discounts if you agree to this. Instead of receiving bills in the post, you'll get emails from your energy supplier, and you can manage your account and submit meter readings online. If your meters aren't read regularly, bills based on estimated readings mean you could end up paying for much more for your fuel than you actually use. Reading your meter regularly and updating your energy supplier also enables you to keep track of what you're using and cut back if necessary. Energy suppliers are all competing with each other, so switching suppliers can be a great way to cut your energy bills. There are a number of comparison sites on the internet where you can find the suppliers offering the best prices and service. You can also compare green tariffs, which allow customers to buy through schemes that use or invest in renewable energy sources. Residents of ASW landlords can contact energy advisors by ringing free phone 0800 310 2183 or contacting www.advantagesw.co.uk and get up-to-date advice about the best deals for tenants. By having an air source heat pump in your home, you'll save on your fuel bills, as well as help to lower your impact on CO2 emissions and climate change. To find out more on getting an air source heat pump, please contact your landlord.